Make a long story short, bro. Cause I just seen some things from Well, let me be clear. So the mother of Kenneka Jenkins, Tereasa Martin, recently came out and put out an interview, or not put out an interview, but she did an interview on a local radio station in Chicago. I believe it was WGCI or some shit like that. I don't have it up on the screen or nothing like that. I should pull it up though. But I believe it was WGCI, if I'm not mistaken. But long story long, she basically spoke about. I mean, you could put up the interview for yourself. I watched the interview, and at the end of the day, I'm just gonna go ahead and just say this for the record, bro. I don't really think that Kenneka Jenkins. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that people don't want to get justice for her. I'm not gonna say that. But what I would say is this: that it's clearly become secondary at this point. It's basically her mother. It is WGCI. You know what I'm saying? I see her mother basically speaking. She's still basically speaking ill of the protesters and all of the negative things that took place and transpired behind the scenes. Man, listen. All I'm saying is this, bro. I've seen things from both sides at this point that pretty much gave me the inclination that this ain't really the movement I'm trying to be a part of. I watched the interview on the radio, WGCI, right? Mother Tereasa speaking on the whole situation. Man, I'm just gonna say this and I'm gonna end it because at this point I'm over. It's over. It's over. You know what I'm saying? This whole situation has been completely a nightmare. I learned a lot from the situation. You feel me? It was kind of like, for me personally, this was like the blueprint of what not to do. At the same time as as well as certain things that I felt like they did correctly. And at this point, I feel like both parties, they basically took it to another level. You know what I'm saying? After they released those pictures, though, that shit just rolled something back up in me, because I just felt like, man, like I just was like, damn, like this shit is like a slap in the face, basically. Like y'all pouring salt in the wounds now on top of everything. Y'all gonna come out here and release this? Like what the fuck are y'all trying to really do? Skid marks on the girl's pants and all this. Sneaker got, like she was getting dragged all about the place. You know what I'm saying? So that was basically like what revived the passion back in me to like want to, basically get answers. And I still want answers at the end of the day. And honestly, to a certain degree, I'm probably connected to this case forever until there is justice, until there's clear, definitive proof. And basically what we've been asking for the entire time, which was footage of Kenneka actually walking into the freezer, which I doubt we're going to ever get at this point. I don't want to get too personal, but listen, man, we didn't see this happen a few times, though. Like I said, it's just a touchy situation for everybody involved. As far as the protest in Rosemont, I don't know what's going on with that. Honestly, it's almost like it became a competition, right? I'm just gonna call it like what it is now at this point, because I'm reaching out to certain people. I'm not getting no answers. And at the end of the day, I feel like if we're gonna turn around and treat our people the same way that the hotel is treating us, then we might as well all get thrown into the fucking bus and we might as well all be on some bullshit. And then fuck everything then. Fuck all the protesters and fuck the protest itself, because at the end of the day, it does come across like people have other intentions at this point. I'm just being honest. At the end of the day, if y'all see the video and y'all feel some type of way, delete me, block me, I don't care. My life is going to continue. I don't really, you know what I'm saying? I fell in love with the movement first. I don't know who these people are individually. I got respect and I got love because, like I said, real recognize, it's certain things that I did appreciate as far as what they was trying to do. But at this point, man, this protest done got way too messy. Way too messy. I don't want to call no names necessarily because I ain't trying to bash nobody. I was never really with the drama. But it's like the drama is overshadowing the case. You feel me? Niggas is on live and they feelings. I mean, I understand the feelings part. Don't get it twisted. Like, I'm not trying to say that to be disrespectful. But at the same time, it's like, my nigga, listen. What movement you ever known to last where black people was basically at the forefront leading the way? You know what I'm saying? Y'all had to have done y'all research, and I'm pretty sure y'all all know and heard of the Black Panthers and Huey P. Newton. You know what I'm saying? And we've been not all of us, but a lot of us have been deprived for a long time of, like I said, man, it was just something refreshing because, like, all you see in this negativity and all day, you finally see a group of black people that's really trying to, like, fight for justice. It's like, yo, I want to be a part of that. And that's basically what we see now. As far as the money, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm gonna let them handle all that. You know what I'm saying? I can only give my honest opinion, and in my honest opinion, I do feel like, obviously they collected money, yes, but I don't feel like it was. I can't say I feel like it was wrong. You see what I'm saying? That's the only thing I can't really. And I'm not against anybody. I'm not even against the mother. I disagree with certain things, but who am I at the end of the day? I'm just a black man that live in these communities that, basically, I felt a certain type of way about the case based on, just like certain situations that I dealt with in the past. And I just feel like I said, man, and, especially the way they try to paint our people and our youth, especially in Chicago. When I seen Lamont out there, I was fucking amazed because I couldn't believe that Chicago actually housed, like, there was teens out there that was actually on some, like, you know what I'm saying? I just never seen, not in Chicago, I haven't seen it. The whole point of me even connecting with if any of y'all watching the video, I only connected with y'all because I appreciated what y'all was doing. And like I said, if anything was to ever happen, we know what it is. Like, we understand that it needs to be money behind the movement, etc. and etc. And I still don't disagree with what they did because at the end of the day, even if they collected $2 billion off of this, let's just say that they got a whole shitload of money. At the end of the day, guess what? Regardless of the money that they made, right? Regardless of how they went about it, whatever the case may be, obviously the mother had a problem or an issue with it. But my thing is this, from the outside looking in, the one thing that you got to give them is that they was there. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they was there, man. And at the end of the day, like I said, I just can't say that. I can never say that that's the wrong thing as far as that. Now, communication, that's a whole nother story. And like I said before, I got people who really rock with me in Chicago. And I was in contact with a few people. A few of them was out there protesting right alongside of some of y'all. And like, I'm not a private investigator like Andrew Holmes, but I'm just saying, like, you feel me? It was just certain things that I was seeing for myself. And there's just certain questions that I had for both parties, the mother and the protesters, that I just feel like at this point it seems like everybody's moving along, and maybe that's the best thing to do. So I'll end it like this, right? As I seek closure for myself, because at the end of the day, I feel like the bigger story here and the bigger conversation really needs to, it all comes back down to crabs in the barrel mentality. I'm only looking at it from the outside looking in as a concerned citizen in Brooklyn, New York, who basically has been in the situation a dozen fucking times, and I know how the situation goes. I know what it feels like to be in a barrel where there's a bunch of crabs trying to pull you down. Listen, I'm sitting in one right motherfucking now. If I can only flip this camera around. It's really just unfortunate that, even in our tragedy, even in our pain and suffering, we can still find ways to fight each other and not fucking focus on the enemy, the people that are actually putting us in positions to be frustrated in the first place, to even have a reason to want to swing on one of your brothers or sisters. Jedediah jumped on the live after, and at the end of the day, I can only respect it. I'm just going to say that and leave it at that. I can only respect it only for the simple fact that, like I said, despite whatever took place with the funds, I felt like they was pretty clear with the ledger. I feel like the protesters went wrong, to be honest. And at the end of the day, if y'all see the video, like I said, there's no disrespect and no shade. But they was doing too much at the end of the day. I feel like the way the situation was going with Kenneka, that would have been enough for me to fall back and just have a seat, at least for a little while, before I jump to another case into a whole nother city. Right now, they on a goddamn world tour. You know what I'm saying? The Freedom Fighters global tour right now. And like I said, I like that. I like what they're doing and all that. You feel me? Because I'm watching. I'm definitely watching. I'm definitely taking notes. But, like I said, we can't blame this on black people. I hear certain statements being made out of anger and emotion. But at the end of the day, yes, I feel your pain, my brother Jedediah. But, bro, we cannot, for 1 second, allow the enemy to turn our attention off of who the real enemy is. You feel me? This is bigger than black and white. This is good versus evil. There are evil people who are black, and there are evil people who are white. At the end of the day, you have to deal with individuals as just that. You have to deal with people individually. And at the end of the day, bro, I don't know if y'all still planning to come to New York. I'm gonna keep it all the way honest with you. I seen homeboy that y'all said that I was planning on linking up with. I'm gonna give y'all my honest advice. If y'all gonna come to New York, y'all might want to link up with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest with you. I don't want to come off like I'm hating, but I could put, at Jumaane Williams, somebody, you know what I mean? In closing, I just want to say, I feel like it's done now. In closing, I feel like, I just want to say, man, listen, I just got worried that one of the protesters just got locked up again. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I'm talking about, man. I don't know. Is the protest over or is it not? Because if this shit is still going, like I said, top of 2018, God willing, I contact the people I need to contact when it's Tom. As of right now, there was only one thing that I heard during that interview that I didn't know before. The only thing that I learned in the interview about, the actual case and the investigation as far as the negligence on the part of the hotel, it was a few things. But one of the things that stood out to me, was when she said that the hotel, first of all, the hotel employee found Kenneka in the freezer. Originally she said that, or originally she was told that it was the police or the fire marshals that found her in the freezer. Then they switched the story. So we already know about the switches of the stories and how inconsistent they've been throughout this whole process. But the one thing that she said that stood out to me, that got me feeling like, man, if we don't ante up and just go to this fucking hotel 20,000 deep and stop playing, like we can't get up off our ass. Fucking Powerhouse was yesterday at the Barclays Center. You feel me? I seen people I never seen before in Brooklyn. You feel me? For the Powerhouse, why can't we ante up like that when it's, for Black Power, the real power? You feel me? Anyway, I digress. Well, not anyway, but that's real motherfucking talk. But at the end of the day, what I was trying to say was, why can't, No. Yeah, what she said was that the hotel worker, he had to open the freezer with a set of keys. Now, I don't have a degree in criminal, psychology or anything along those lines. I'm pretty sure, if this nigga had to open the freezer with a set of keys, then what does that tell you? What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Two things. Either the door was locked, meaning the only way Kenneka could have walked into this freezer was if she had the same set of fucking keys, number one, or maybe some people might say, well, maybe they locked the door after the fact to, this is a crime scene. We want to keep it. I've never heard of that a day in my life. Somebody please pull up a case where somebody's body was found in a freezer or in anything enclosed where they needed to lock this shit with the body inside in order to keep it preserved. I don't know, what's the explanation? I'm trying to give an explanation to myself because I don't even fucking know. I'm going to end the video like this because y'all not about to stress me the fuck out. I have my blood pressure. You know what I'm saying? My blood is probably redder than this hoodie right now. My shit is boiling. You know what I'm saying? Like, my shit is probably purple. Anyway, blood is supposed to... I'm going to end it like this. Peace and love over violence and corruption. Peace and love over violence and corruption. Peace and love over violence and corruption and self-destruction. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Hakuna Matata. It's over.